Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy DKEN, and welcome to my incredible podcast. Now, before we commence, do not forget to Hulk smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this with your boys and your fat ass families, follow me on Instagram, smash that bell notification button, and of course, as always, enjoy. Let's get started. Our top story for today shall be my old blue pill beta male days. So this episode shall be associated with one of my other episodes titled My Brutally Honest Opinion of the Red Pill. So for those of you that are new to my channel and you do not know what the red pill is or what it means, first I highly encourage you to check out that episode of the incredible podcast titled My Brutally Honest Opinion of the Red Pill. I explain in basic detail what it is, the metaphor behind this ideology, and what it means. Go check out that video. However, for those of you that already know what it is, let us commence. Let's begin. So, my old blue pill beta male days. Well, for starters, I did not have it easy. I struggled in various parts of my life. Like, I don't know about any of you, but I grew up in a dysfunctional home. I grew up in a home where my dad, he was a hard-working man. Like, he would bust his butt working every day to make ends meet. So he couldn't spend that much time at home with us. So every time I would come back home from school, I would spend most of my time with my mother. So when I was little, specifically around 6 years old, my mom used to give me ass whoopings whenever I did something wrong. Now, to be fair, there were times when I did deserve it because there were certain things that I did that were just simply uncalled for. And it was truly my fault, okay? So I'll admit to that. However, there were other times when I did not deserve it. I would attempt to explain myself to her, either in Spanish or in English, but every time I would try to tell her whatever happened was not my fault, she would just, slap me around and assume that I did something stupid and wrong. Just keep in mind, my mother spoke fluent Spanish because she was born in Chile, but she moved over here to the US back in the early 80s. So her English was not that good. So I started to learn Spanish at a very young age. But even as a kid, I still struggled learning that language. So my Spanish was not that good when I first started. So with that said, my mother and I had a language barrier, and I had to go through tough times to learn the language and break that barrier myself. Now, in terms of the ass whoopings, it stopped altogether when I reached 11 because she realized that I was getting bigger. Even at 11, I still struggled learning Spanish. My mother struggled to understand certain words in English that I was using. I still was not getting along with my mother because, well, she would berate me and belittle me over the smallest fucking things that were not even that big of a deal, such as not following her religion. Even up to this day, she's a Jehovah's Witness. But I detached from that religion when I was 13. Another example would be getting too loud when I was watching a TV show. Anytime I was watching something on TV, something like Deal or No Deal, I would enjoy some random contestant making money. There were times when I was a little too loud, cheering for the contestant that was making money on TV. So my mom would scream at me because she was busy reading Jehovah's Witness pamphlets. Another thing that she would crucify me on would be the type of people that I would hang out with. Anytime I would tell her about a certain acquaintance that I'm spending time with outside of home, she would just outright prevent me from spending time with that individual because she would mistake him for a bad influence on me. She would mistake him as troublemakers and smartasses that were trying to recruit me. And looking back now, there were certain people that stood out as red flags, which I understand now. However, there were other people that were mischaracterized, meaning the ones that were actually good people were automatically considered red flags in my mother's eyes. As a young teenager growing up in middle school, those were some very tough years. Like, I used to be the typical scrawny kid in school that had confidence issues. You know, I was that wallflower, if you will. I had anxiety, and I remember that I used to get picked on a lot just for being different and just for being one of the smallest kids. So those were not happy times, and I even struggled to meet new people and just, make new friends and stuff like that. So as soon as I graduated from middle school, I was like, thank fucking God, because I don't want to go back to those fucking tough times. And then high school came around the corner. Overall, I was pretty much the same kid that I was back in middle school. The only difference was I was one of the angriest kids in high school. I would easily get upset and furious about anything, such as a test that I thought I did well on but failed, a female student that would reject me after I would ask her out, trying to complete 4 different assignments at once when it was due in less than 2 weeks. I would flip out over things of that nature. So as I continued in high school, I didn't change that much up until I reached college. To put it short and simple, college, I would say, was most certainly an up and down roller coaster adventure. It was one of those times. Like, there were days when I had my fun moments and other days when I had my down moments. Now, folks, especially all of you gentlemen, listen up. This is imperative. I used to be that typical college kid that was not enthusiastic as to what I was learning. The only reason that I was going to college was because my family expected me to go to college and graduate with a bachelor's. So when I was living under their roof, I didn't have a choice. Along with this, I used to be one of those betas that just chased females out of my life. Okay? I used to be one of those guys that would do everything wrong. And it could be anything from over pursuing them, bombard them with text messages, bring up the talk, which meant talking about relationship bullshit and labels, things of that nature. I did all sorts of shit countless times during college. Like, I cannot even give you an exact number of times that I fucked up during college. Like, matter of fact, quick side story. There was this blonde female that I met during my 3rd year in college. I don't remember her name because it was a long time ago. She was, I would say, between an 8 or a 9. She was that attractive. And as you can imagine, she had a whole list of beta male cucks chasing after her like puppy dogs begging for attention. So she had a lot of betas in her rotation, Now, mind you, this was when I had no clue what I was doing. I'll tell you that right now. I made so many mistakes with this female to the point where she blew me off for some other guy. And with that same guy, she rubbed him in my face. So after I failed with this particular female, that was when I came across Coach Corey Wayne, the author of 3% Man. And as time progressed, from college all the way up to now, I started to come across more people such as Tom Likas, Mark Rudolph, Coach Greg Adams, Strong Successful Male, Young Men's Daily Red Pill, Steph is Cold, all sorts of guys. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the main point that I am trying to get across is I used to be the typical blue pill beta male bitch, okay? Now, after watching all of these MGTOW and Red Pill channels and enlisting in the service, cut to years later, which is up to this day, I went through some dangerous times. And I did it. I made it. I made it to the other side as a completely different man. Fully transformed into a completely different person that I never thought I was capable of being. Okay? I could tell you this. I've got my own place. That means I'm living by myself. and I'm just about ready to purchase my first car. I've got my own bills to pay. I don't have anything else to worry about. Words cannot express how much high quality work I've put into myself. So words cannot express how grateful I am to be in this position, making these videos, getting to meet good people on these platforms. All right, I am 100% grateful, and it's a privilege to be here alongside with all of you beautiful people out here. So everybody, just keep this in mind. If I can make improvements and earn a better lifestyle, that means you could do this too. Just do not be afraid of putting in all the work for you. So with all of that said, this concludes this episode of my incredible podcast. So thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to Hulk smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this with your boys and your fat ass families. Follow me on Instagram, smash that bell notification button, and every single one of you, have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace out.
I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row.